Take me back to that time in 2012 when you were living in Syria and your family's factory was bombed.
So by late 2012, we had another house in downtown Damascus that we moved to. It was safer. And we were living there for a while until the factory was bombed. And let me tell you this just short story. My father left at that time. It was the end of 2012. It was really busy time, just making chocolate during the war. And my father kept saying that making chocolate is something that he will never give up, right? He will never really just leave. It's something that it's deep in him. It's his passion. It's something that he spent his blood, sweat, and tears building that second largest chocolate factory in the region in 2005 and opening it and shipping it all across to Europe and the Middle East. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to work. It's war, but I'm going to work. At that time, I was not involved in a business. I was a medical student. So I was going to hospitals and I was just doing all these trainings. I was aspiring to become a cardiac surgeon. And my father was at the factory, and he called me and he was like, there are going to be explosions around the building. I'm like, Dad, I really just saw that on the news too. So maybe you should leave. All the staff should leave. No one believed what could happen during a war, right? Like you do not have any expectations of what could happen worse. Like, what's the worst limit? What's the worst threshold that the war can reach? And at that time, my father was at the factory. I told him to leave. He asked all the staff, hundreds of staff, just evacuate all the factory. And he was the last to just be in his car and leave. He started driving. 10 minutes after my father and all the staff have left the factory, it was bombed by the most powerful explosion that has really happened, I think, in the entire region at that time. It was bombed by an airstrike, and the entire factory was just leveled on the ground. There was like nothing left. So my father came home and he really didn't know what happened, but he was happy that he survived. He didn't know what was bombed. He just knew that there was an explosion. And when he arrived, I showed him, some of the pictures that one of our neighbors sent to us, and it was all really heartbreaking. When you build something with your blood, sweat, and tears, and you just see it destroyed just in a blink of an eye. There was no warning, there was no message, there was no notification just a day before. It just happened really quickly. And my father spent the next 3 days after the explosion. He did not speak to anyone. He was just saying everything has gone. Everything has gone. And that was certainly one of the main reasons that has led our family to leave Syria. It was one of the biggest motivations that started making our decision easier to start making our way out of the country.